Like I've said before, I am a big fan of music. When I hear a good song, I'll think about it at least once a month for the rest of my life. So when I found out about a super heavily music-oriented Super Mario 64 ROM hack, I couldn't turn it down if I wanted to. Except why would I want to if I like it? Doesn't make sense now, does it? Yeah, look at you. You're confused already. Merry Christmas! Mario on the Orchestral Keys is a refreshing ROM hack of Super Mario 64 for a number of reasons. What could those reasons be? Good graphics, good gameplay, good sound design, good funny dialogue, good gay baby jail, or all of the above. The sky is the limit because we're gonna talk about it. And also, happy Sunday. Hope everybody who's still in school is keeping it together because this is usually when crunch time starts going ham. Just hang in there, cousins. Soon it'll be finished and you can lie on the couch eating nasty-ass fruitcake for 2 weeks. And with all of that out of the way, let's talk about Mario on the Orchestral Keys. Now, Mario on the Orchestral Keys is a Mario 64 ROM hack that came out last year, and it's one of those ROM hacks that stands out because it doesn't do things the way most of them do. Instead of being a big collection of levels, Orchestral Keys is one large continuous level. If you remember Mario's Vacation Course or Peach's Fury, it's a lot like that. It's a big, very polished level. Mostly. It's the Bowser's Fury approach, where you just have one wide open area that allows you to go wherever you want to go. Much like the diorama hacks I was talking about way back yesterday, it's a subgenre that I hope gets explored far more heavily because there are a lot of advantages to it that are often overlooked. For one thing, the lack of a hub world cuts down on a lot of downtime, and the stars, or clefs, don't kick you out of the world when you collect them. Basically, there is no fat on this game, it's just meat. Or maybe tofu if you're vegan. The premise of Mario on the Orchestral Keys is that Mario is on the Orchestral Keys, which is a place famous for its natural, relaxing music with invigorating properties. But some star-shaped dickheads scattered all the power clefs without which the music cannot be played. These shiny green dudes, who I'm sure are from some piece of media that I'm not familiar with, assign Mario the task of cleaning up this mess, putting a hold on his vacation. I tell you, man, this guy can't catch a break. Overall, the visuals aren't mind-blowing, but there are a few things that are exceptional, like these really shiny, super detailed whole notes that look like they could have come out of a Rare game, not to mention the brass instruments. You know why they call them whole notes, right? 'Cause there's a hole in them. There's also this really neat wave effect in the water. Instead of just being a flat texture sliding in one direction endlessly, it actually moves like water. There are a lot of these kinds of subtle things, like the absence of a heads-up display. Important information only shows up when it actually matters, preventing the screen from unnecessary clutter, allowing the player to much better soak in their surroundings. It is a very neat feature. The note counter does this tiny little bounce thing whenever you pick up a note, and also the palm tree leaves have these moving shadows. There's also the text that fades in and out whenever you reach a new section of the island. And just as a cherry on top, there's a dead guy on a roof. Oh yeah, it's ROM hack time. A lot of these things are extremely subtle and not supremely important on the surface, but when you've played the vanilla game, which didn't have any of these subtle things as thoroughly as I have, you're gonna notice it. And then of course you have the alternate dimension of the island where there's all this lava and fire coming down like snowflakes. It is really gnarly. Gameplay wise, it's fundamentally largely unchanged from the original game, but there are some neat flourishes, like how you can use the notes to buy this surfboard that allows you to cross the ocean way faster. It's a very convenient thing. There's also this map, which is very helpful. Overall, it's a very approachable hack with a couple of slight difficulty bumps, like this carefully timed wall jump and this trumpet thing, where you had to perform a slightly precise triple jump to get to the mouthpiece and climb up from there. The only thing that is maybe a little out of line with this trumpet is that it's very prone to gay baby jails that you cannot escape, so just don't touch it without making a save state first, and also, there is a really cool final boss in here which I am not going to spoil for you, but I thought it was just a tiny bit wonky and it made me say things that I am not going to repeat in this video as per the community guidelines, but just understand that he was being a real If there's one thing I always make a point of in these videos, it's talking about the music. One of my favorite features of video game music is when the instrumentals change depending on the environment. The most obvious example of that being Banco Kazooie, where going underwater changes everything to a marimba harp thing. I don't know instruments. In this hack, dynamic music plays a uniquely important role. When you start, the map is dead silent except for the sound of waves and seagulls. Then you collect 2 clefs and you start to hear a beat come in. Wow, that's really catchy. Yeah. Yeah. And then you get the next 2 and you hear some more instruments come in. And as you keep going, more instruments join the fun, and then you make the mind-blowing realization that what you've been listening to this entire time is something that you've heard before. It was Rayman. This isn't just a cool detail, but it lends a very real, very tangible sense of progression to your accomplishments as a player. You're literally bringing the music back in real time. It almost reminds me of Mario Galaxy, how the observatory theme gets more lively as you bring back more stars. But it's not just the music that becomes more lively, the world starts to become more alive as well, like the trumpets now blow physical air that can lift you up. While we're talking about music, I have to point out that the music in this area is gnarly as hell. Mario on the Orchestral keys is an excellent ROM hack that I can easily recommend. There is a demonstrable level of care and polish put into the game's look and feel and sound, and despite the very small handful of hiccups which many of you might not even notice, it's a really cool piece of work. And it also makes me want to play Rayman, which is not a good thing because they don't really make those anymore. But that's besides the point. The moral of the story is, you should play this game, or I'll put potatoes in your stocking. Ho ho ho! Thank you for watching today's video, and don't forget to tune into tomorrow's video. Can you guess what it is? I won't give it away, but let's just say it's very blue. And not just any kind of blue, it's a very specific shade of blue. Now Santa isn't very good with colors, so I'm going to have to leave it at that, but rest assured, it's going to be a lot of fun. After all, it is Christmas, and fun is the whole point. If it wasn't fun, we wouldn't be talking about it. And we're approaching the halfway point, so keep those spirits bright and burning. Because we have 2 whole weeks of Christmas left, and what a Merry Christmas it is indeed. Ho ho!